So, it is nothing new that the spiritual community is filled to the brim with what you might call pseudo-spiritualists, people who had a taste of some or took some steps along a spiritual journey, but somehow got lost in their own minds, essentially. There are few places with as much ego, for example, as the spiritual community. There are few places with as many people who are overconfidently relaying their stories or their views of the world without taking the caution of reminding themselves and their listeners that this is their view. They enter into kind of an illusion or a delusion, and it's just the fact that it's so prevalent forces us to ask the question, how can I avoid that my journey ends up in a place such as that? And it's basically quite simple. I think you can answer this question in many ways. I think one beneficial avenue is to look at the alienation of spiritual growth, because it is in a way alienating to dive within ourselves, to discover deeper truths about ourselves, and then look at the world and look at all the people who apparently are living very conformist lives like sheep, just doing the things that they're told, feeling what they're told, watching the TV they're told, voting for the people that they're told, and consuming the goods that they're told. And it's very easy to look at these masses with kind of an arrogant attitude of, now I have awakened, what are you fools doing? And it can be tricky, right? Because the conformist critique of the mass human is a warranted critique, right? It is a great big problem of late modern human culture, and maybe human culture historically as well, that so many of us just follow what everybody else does. We don't have our own ideas, we don't have our own values. It's all indoctrinated into them, it's all installed within us, it's all kind of inauthentic in a sense that we didn't reach these conclusions ourselves. We were cajoled into them. And I would argue that one of the most powerful ways of avoiding this pseudo-spiritualism, this weird, overly confident, ego-driven, I have the answer and everybody else are fools, is exactly in reminding ourselves how this is not the case, in exactly cultivating the humbleness to look at ourselves in the mirror and remind ourselves how conformist we still are, how controlled we still are by external forces trying to indoctrinate us, how unreflective we often are, and how judgy we are, and how much our ego is running our entire spiritual journey. That is really the way out of this pseudo-spiritualism. Humble self-insight, humble introspection, humble shadow work. That is, I think, the only way of avoiding becoming one of these annoying pseudo-spiritual know-it-alls. But I'm curious, I would like to hear what you think. Is it maybe a necessary step on the journey towards some kind of awakening for the ego to somehow expand or inflate? And then, like, what are your thoughts? I would like to hear that. Apart from that,